We want to begin right now with some breaking news. We've got this deadly fire in Oakland. We've been following it for you all morning long in our newsroom. This fire racing through a crowded building. This happened overnight.
And within the past half hour, we've learned that there are 9 confirmed deaths from that fire. More than 24 people are still missing this morning. Certainly heartbreaking news from the scene. And these pictures, you can see the flames shooting from the roof of that structure in Oakland.
Yeah, the fire was so intense, firefighters who rushed inside actually were forced out of that building, had to take a defensive approach. This all started at 11:30 last night. It's at a commercial building on 31st Avenue near International Boulevard, which is north of Interstate 880.
People had gathered there for a rave. The fire went to 3 alarms as firefighters kept calling for additional crews. Our KTVU's Christian Cafton joins us live at the scene. And Christian, what is the very latest on the victims?
Well, the very latest is let's go ahead and show you the building right now. The fire is out. That is the good news. As you said before, though, the tragedy here, at least 9 confirmed fatalities, possibly more. We're hearing that there may be more people trapped inside that building.
There's still a lot of the building that needs to be searched. We have called in our task force from Alameda County to come in and assist with the fire investigation.
There was a big party here. Some have described it as a rave. The online information about this is that it was the Golden Donna 100% Silk Tour 2016 West Coast Tour. What we've learned is that this was an artist collective. There were various artists who lived here, who worked here, and one of them says that the fire started in the back left corner of the building. Witnesses saw smoke and tried to warn others. We spoke with one artist who was inside last night. He says that when the fire broke out, he tried to warn as many people as he could. He said one of his friends had what he believes was a broken ankle.
I haven't seen him, and there's been flames shooting out of the building for the past 30 minutes, so I hope he's okay.
If you know anything about this fire, if you know anything about anybody who was here last night, or if you were here last night, contact authorities to let them know that you are okay.
It's absolutely heartbreaking. I've been watching the social media all morning long, Christian, as people have been, one, posting the names of their loved ones and also posting pictures. And when that call came out for identifying tattoos or anything else, I saw a whole bunch of posts flooding it. Christian actually has some new information. So, Christian, let's go to you now.
Right. We're getting a briefing from the fire chief right now, so let's listen in and we'll get more information about this.
Up and down off the 2nd floor, so I don't know how many individuals were up on the 2nd floor. The stairway was a makeshift stairwell. I can't tell you at this time where the fire started, but I know that it was going to be difficult if the fire started anywhere near that stairwell.
And Chief, you'd said earlier that your firefighters, when they went into the building, they couldn't hear smoke alarms and there was no evidence of a sprinkler system.
Correct.
Did they see fire extinguishers? What did your firefighters see when they first made their entry into that building?
So I can't tell you if they saw fire extinguishers, but I just made initial walkthrough, just walked into like the first 5 or 6 feet, and I did see some fire extinguishers there. In fact, I saw 2 right by the front entryway.
Most of the bodies found on the 2nd floor?
Most of the bodies were found on the 2nd floor.
And you said a makeshift stairway. Do you think that may have contributed to it? In other words, is that a choke point? It was difficult for people to evacuate quickly.
I believe so.
This was a sizable fire. 55-plus firefighters from all over Oakland and surrounding communities have been fighting this fire. And right now, the tough task of going in, investigating, and removing the victims that may still be inside that building.
Spokesperson just arrived here as well, so we're going to look for a briefing from them as quickly as possible so that we can continue trying to get information. If we can come around here, guys, we've been telling you about those firefighters up on the roof there. You might be able to get a better look at them from this angle. You can see that there are at least 3 firefighters up on the roof of the building right now trying to still assess this fire. And guys, remember, just 15, 20 minutes ago, we did see smoke and fire still emerging from this building.
People are, of course, posting their concerns about those missing on their event page of the musical act that was playing upstairs. That was the band Golden Donna, 100% Silk West Coast tour. One man, please keep me posted. I'm trying to hold on to my feelings, but feeling really messed up by this news. And another one reads.
Yeah, another one says, we're on the East Coast. Please let me know if you've seen my son. He's not picking up his phone. You know, this one looking for a mic saying, anyone heard from him? And he's like, just woke up. I'm fine. That's what people are hoping, that maybe they have crashed at someone's house or they went somewhere to be safe, they fell asleep, and they're just now waking up realizing that their loved ones are looking for them. I can see you're walking us over. Is there something happening in that direction?
Yeah, so the fire chief we were talking with earlier is back, so I'm going to go over to her now to see if we can get an update on what's going around. I see that she's now back, so we wanted to find out if there is new information, additional information. It's tough, obviously, because we're moving back and forth trying to show you the very latest, but also trying to get the very latest information from Oakland Fire. So we're going to come on back over here and listen in with the questions that are going on here and try to find out what the latest information is about that.
Pulling out and ended up going for a defensive attack.
What were they seeing inside? What were the firefighters seeing inside exactly?
Mannequins, just a lot of things, like a flea market.
We've got the Alameda County Sheriff's spokesperson J.D. Nelson on the phone right now with the very latest. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Claudine.
Very, very difficult morning, and really, Sergeant Nelson, at this point, there's so many unknowns. So how do you prepare for what could be coming your way, given on what the search yields?
Well, you're 100% correct there. There's a lot of unknowns. The building is not deemed safe right now for our team to go in. We're working on that. Right now we have no bodies in the house at the coroner's bureau from this incident. But we are preparing for 40 plus.
Christian, I don't know if you heard our earlier discussion with Sergeant J.D. Nelson of the Alameda County Sheriff's Office. We talked to him about the coroner's office, and he said that his people were telling them to prepare for more than 40, potentially 40 plus bodies to come to the coroner's office. We also asked him about the discrepancy in numbers because we've seen this 9 and 25. I wonder if the chief can shed any light on that in terms of why the discrepancy in numbers.
Certainly try to see if we can find out more information about, again, exactly how many people they believe were involved in this. Any additional information? Any additional information on, you'd said before, 25 people, 9 people. The Alameda County Coroner's Office is ready to accept as many as 40 casualties.
We don't have any further information, and we will not be able to give you any updates until we actually get in and start doing an official search of the structure.
Guys, we're going to spin around here just a moment. You might have seen I was distracted earlier, but you can see that the Oakland Mobile Command Unit is here. Now, unclear if that is part of the Alameda County task force that we've been waiting on. And guys, remember that they've been waiting on that task force to arrive so that they could get a better sense on the safety of the building.
Well, right now we are outside of the Alameda Sheriff's Services units. This is where people are coming to give the names of the people that are their friends that are missing. We spoke with a few people who are just too devastated to talk on camera about this, but one woman says she was not there last night, but she did get an invite through Facebook. She says it is an underground dance party, and she knows at least 4 of her friends that attended that she has not heard from. So she came here to give their names to make sure that they were on the list. She's very distraught. She's not sure if her friends are amongst the 9 that have been confirmed dead or if they're the ones that are still missing and unaccounted for.
You know, we've been waiting all morning for this search, and we're saying, you know, then we'll get more an idea of the 25 missing and the 9 dead. When you look at that overhead shot, I think what it tells you, though,
how hot that fire was,
how hot
and how quickly it moved, and how difficult it was to get out of.
With the debris that's in there, when they talk about the furniture and everything, how long the search might actually take. It appears, Christian, from when we've watched your live reports, this is the most activity we've really seen out in front of that building in a few hours.
Right. We've seen them out in front of the building as that firefighter moves what appears to be an upright piano out of the way. Is an indication of what kinds of conditions might be waiting for them inside.
If you have any information about a loved one that may have been there or may have been going there, or any information, and that goes right down with identification about anyone that might be there as well. You see the phone number 510-382-3000.
We've got Sergeant Ray Kelly of the Alameda County Sheriff's Office on the phone with us now. Sergeant Kelly, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, I'm sorry. First off, we just left a unified command meeting here where we're trying to get all our logistics in place here. This is a horrible event for the city of Oakland.
What is the very latest that you can tell us?
We're still putting water out on the fire to put it out. There's still hot spots that are flaring up. So we need to make sure that this place is structurally safe for the first responders to go in and then to do the recovery and then begin the investigation. So we have to make the scene safe so that we're safe, so that we can do our job.
You guys are still not in the building because we can still see smoke coming from the warehouse, and gray smoke, which means, it's not just cooling. Something is still burning.
And there's victims still in the building.
Yeah.
This happened obviously in the early morning hours. We had people that had already worked all night. We're relieving those people, bringing in fresh, new people. And then we have to use the city and county emergency management system, so there'll be people that are involved in that. What will ultimately happen is we'll go from dealing here with the scene to then family assistance and providing help to those families that have been affected by this.
It does appear that they are starting to make their entry into that building. If you can see here, you can see that the area, they've cleared some of the debris. If you remember, there was that upright piano that was there. They've cleared a lot of that stuff, and they have that roll-up door open now. We've seen firefighters starting to make their way in, and we have seen more firefighters up on the adjacent roof as well.
Take a look at Facebook, because that has become a sense of comfort, an area where people can not only send their well wishes to the victims' families, but also to provide information to law enforcement and to firefighters as they try and find out who may have been one of the victims. Did they go to this rave? Did they get out in time? Did they not go at all? And here are some of the names of some of the people I would presume that are missing at this hour.
And they want people to see this list because they want people who may know someone who might be missing to take a look at it. And if you know someone who's missing and their name is not on that list, it's important for you to notify folks. It looks like this press conference is getting underway, so let's listen in.
Okay, I'm Sergeant Ray Kelly with the Sheriff's Office. We are dealing with the Coroner's Bureau part of this. At this time, we are getting our phones up and working because we know we have families that are concerned, that live outside the Bay Area. They live in other states, and we have people that live in other countries. So those folks can call 510-382-3000.
Are you still looking for identifying marks? I know that on social media people have been reporting what they were wearing, what their appearance is, tattoos.
Yes, and that will be very helpful for us moving forward when we deal with families. This is going to be a very difficult process for us and for families in doing identifications.
And Christian, you brought up an excellent point.
We've been telling you, it was an artisan collective. It was nicknamed the Oakland Ghostship, and here's why. You get a good idea of what's in there. These were posted on the website, oaklandghostship.com.
It gives you an idea. We've talked about how much fuel was in there and how much stuff. This is just a look at some of the miscellaneous items that were stored inside 18 to 19 different areas, and they were all different really depending on what their specialty was or what their craft was. The Oakland fire chief described it as a flea market of sorts.
Well, we just saw a second sheriff chaplain arrive here at the 12th Street Service Center right now. They are meeting with family members and friends of people who have loved ones that are still missing. They're providing counseling, and they're also taking a name and description of the person that is missing. We spoke earlier with one man who says that he is a musician who attended the party. He went outside to take a cigarette break, and when he was outside, that's when the fire broke out. He says that what you guys were talking about earlier with the visibility of getting out, he says he saw people holding up their cell phones to create like a light and then shouting at the exit to try to help people get out, because he said the visibility was so bad. People were using the light and having people hear their voice, following their voice to get out of the door. He said he waited for hours at the exit to wait for the friend that he arrived with, and he never saw his friend come out. So he is still here. He says he was told this is the best place to get any information.
You can see that drone up there looking down onto the fire and checking for hot spots, trying to make sure that it is as safe as possible for those firefighters, for those Alameda County sheriff's deputies and workers from the coroner's office to make their way inside that building.
Well, it's going to take time, Christian, to sort through all that and eventually recover the bodies. We know at least 9 are inside, presumably more after that, because there's over 25 missing at this hour. Christian Cafton, some nice work.